Well, hello everyone, and welcome to round 5 of the iRacing Porsche Cup. This week coming to you from Road America, well-known circuit in the USA. I've got to be honest, not one I know very well, and to be honest, I struggled quite a bit this week. I did a couple of practice sessions on Thursday night, and then today jumped into the race. Did do a race on Thursday night, it went horribly wrong. But today's race was the quarter to 2 race, and actually it went pretty well. And of course, being the 992 Cup, we're in the 992 Cup car. So, right, here we are on the start. The start was a bit interesting, let's put it that way, as you're about to see. Unfortunately, a guy further up front decided that he wasn't going to go, and then went and wheel spun, and had a lot of backing up of traffic. Yeah, and I hit him. So, a bit unfortunate. And then the guy who came down my right also got into a bit of trouble with me there. I think I drifted across slightly into him, but it was very minor. We'll have a look from the outside. We'll continue on with this first lap here. We'll go through the lap, so we've got a right-hander here. Take us down. This is quite a long run, but finishes with a tight second-hand left corner. Quite a likely place to get into an incident because it's people carrying a lot of speed. Big braking zone, straight down the inside. This guy, I saw him coming, I let him go. Again, opening lap is always best to try and be a bit conservative. You can see that person went off on the right. If you're a bit too aggressive on the first lap, you can end up not finishing, really. So we've got another tight left-hander coming up here. That's followed by a long right-hander, which is a mix of third and fourth gear. Sometimes use third to try and pull the nose in a bit. This then takes you onto a very fast right-hander, which can be really, really tricky if you get the turning point wrong. It's a right nightmare. You end up going wide, hitting the grass. And as soon as you catch the grass, that's it. It's Spin City. And there's a good example. Pretty tricky that one. I was really worried going to spin back across in front of me, but luckily stayed on the inside and tucked into the left and managed to escape that one. Thought about putting my nose down the inside here, but kept it in check. Thought no, a bit too risky, could end up in an accident. Keep back, live to fight another day. This corner's really tricky. It's kind of a bit of a lift and a throw it in. It's a bit unsighted. Good fun though. And then we've got the final corner here, which you need to really set up well to carry a good bit of speed all the way up. Along the start-finish straight here, because yeah, I mean it's a long straight and it's uphill. Then the guy in front didn't get a good one out, but we did. We managed to pass him. So now we'll go back and look at the start. And this is from the point of view of the guy who didn't start very well up at the front here. So you see, he doesn't really move. Then he wheel spins, and everyone else behind panics, and we all have a huge accident. You know, from behind here we can see the ensuing carnage that was behind us. Yeah, we've got a few people wisely starting from the pit lane there as well. So here we're going to do this first lap. We're going to do it from the point of view of my car, or from me, with the TV cameras settings, and then you can see I was dumped straight into the back of the guy in front, and then I clipped the guy to my right. Yeah, and he goes off. So it was a pretty tricky start. To be honest, I thought, wow, this race is going to be pretty bad. I actually thought the car would be really badly damaged at this point. So coming up to this first corner, I was really worried that it wasn't going to turn, that it'd be awful to drive. But actually, despite the damage, it drove fine. I think it was probably down on top speed. I think it's probably suffering from quite a bit of aero damage due to the front and rear. But actually, because the impacts have been completely front and rear and no real side impacts, the car actually drove fine, which was a great relief. So here we are heading down, like I said, to that tight left-hander, second gear, and this guy, I saw him coming and just let him go because there's no point fighting for it. You know, the first lap had been pretty horrific already. I thought, right, you know, let's just settle in and not worry about it too much. And actually, you know, we gained a position back anyway because this guy had gone off. So not too many dramas through this part of the circuit. And those who are not familiar with iRacing, the cold tyres, cold brakes make a huge difference. So the car drives really differently until sort of lap 2 or 3, and then it starts to, as everything starts to warm up, you get much better braking, much better turning, much better off throttle, and you see it tumble the lap time, so you can feel the grip build up. So the first lap is always pretty tricky. Try not to go too hard, too fast, and end up just going off. Coming down towards the faster section there, and that was the guy that spun off in front of us. Again, you can see me trying to avoid him. Yeah, like I said, I was really worried he's going to spin out across in front of us, but yeah, luckily in that case, not happening. Again, put my nose down, but decided against it. That's going to bring us towards the end of lap 1. There is quite an incident coming up later on, not involving me, fortunately. And there we go, coming up to the end of lap 1, and you see here, I've got a good run off this guy, coming out the last turn, get a really good run up to the start finish straight. So here we are a bit later. Let this guy go because yeah, I'd seen him coming up behind me in the timing. He was a lot quicker. I think he was one of the guys who started in the pit lane, either that or one who's caught in the early drama. I thought, you know what, I'm going to let him go, get some speed up, get out of my way. But as it turns out, as we come back down to the sharp left-hander again, that letting him go was not too much of a problem for my position, as he managed to fit it in. So at this point, I'd started to catch up quite quickly with what turned out to be at this point position 6 and 7, so I'm currently in position 8. So currently in this place, 6 up in front there, in front of the guy in front of me had had a bit of an off and fallen back a bit, and P7 in front of me had caught him, and I'd been catching P7. So the three of us had started to come together in quite a group. I thought, right, you know, here's an opportunity to try and move forward a bit, but don't be too kamikaze. So I just, really focused on turning points, braking points. Thought if I could just reel them in, and then either take advantage of the mistake or actually, try and pass them on pace. That's what we really want to do is overtake them with pace. But so yeah, that was the plan. This has built up over a couple of laps. To be honest, I've been catching the guy in 7th for 2 or 3 laps, and then yeah, the guy in 6th had the running wide. So at this point, I'm thinking, oh, I feel like I'm reeling them in. They seem closer. I'm looking at the timing. The gap's shrinking a little bit. As we come around this fast right-hander, we're then heading into, it's called the corkscrew. We're then heading into the very fast right-hander. That's this 3rd, 4th gear. And as we come around here, all hell's broken loose. And what happened? Well, we can see from the point of view from some of the other cars here. But essentially, the guy here in the monster liveried car had run off, and this other car, I think it's number 28, is 29, is running around the outside. And what happens here is he manages to get a wheel on the grass, and that's it, he spun. So nothing too bad at this point. He's on his own. You see him go there, he's all on his own, not a problem. But then, as he tries to rejoin, he takes out the guy right in front of me, and I drive straight between the two of them. Really lucky. From on board for me, I was like, oh my lord. But this is on board with that guy. He just, pulled out in front of him, nowhere he could go. Really lucky for me that I was able to drive straight between the two of them. But as I was going through, I was really worried I was going to pick one of them in the face, back onto the circuit. That was the last corner of the last lap. We can actually see the car in front going over the hill, but we're going to come in here and finish in P6. A great result. Started in P8, 2 places harder than I started. Much more than I expected. Always these races are always pretty tricky. I'm really happy, and a good boost to my iRating and my safety rating, which you'll be able to see on this screen coming up. Feel free to pause it in a second to see the results in full. Yeah, really happy with that. Next week then, so next week there is a Porsche Cup race, again ill prepared, can't remember where it is. But I'm doing a 12 hours of Sebring, so please tune in to the YouTube for that. I might do the Porsche race, but we'll definitely be doing the 12 hours of Sebring as a group race. So thanks for watching, and tune in as I post more videos. Cheers, bye!